What's up, guys? This is Garrett with Green's Fine Lawn Care. This is an overgrown mow we did. Some of these weeds were taller than me. You'll see a couple times in the video where I got out and compared myself to the weeds. I'm 6'3", and it just kind of blew my mind that some of these weeds were taller than me. But we had a great time. You'll also see my dad in there. He helped me mow. Shout out to him. I love my dad. That's my best friend. But guys, while you're watching this fun video, I wanted to talk a little bit about business, just to maybe motivate somebody. Honestly, maybe I'm wrong for thinking this, but I think everybody should at least think about starting a small business. That's just my opinion. So if you don't want to start a small business, maybe this is not the video for you. But if you do, man, I would really encourage you to do it. So a lot of people get caught up on the fact of how do I start a small business? When should I go full-time into it? How do I get it off the ground? I've got bills to pay, and I will admit it is hard. I actually still stay at home with my parents. I'm 22. I'll be 23 in about a week. And I'll be honest, guys, sometimes that discourages me. But at the same time, I have to be patient, man. I know I'm walking my own path, and I look at everything that I'm trying to do, and in my vision, I could stop spending money on marketing in my business and just kind of pull the lever of profitability. But I'd be able to afford a rent somewhere and do something like that, but that's just not what I want out of life. I have to think about where do I want to be in 5, 10, 15 years even. And for me, it's all about the long-term vision. But if you look at the stock market, for instance, you can expect an average 8 to 10% return year after year. Let me grab my calculator. So say you throw $100 into the stock market, and after 1 year you gain 8% on that. You have $108. Now you are going to win some compound interest, because in year 2 you're going to get 8% off of 108. So let's add 8% to that. 116. Then you add 8% to that. 125. That's 3 years plus 8%. 136 plus another 8%, 5 years. You have $146.93 after 5 years. Of course, if you're playing with the stock market, I'd imagine you throw a little bit more at it. But let's take, for instance, a small business. Okay, I'll just go ahead and be transparent as far as my close ratio. And close ratio, if you don't know what that means, it means, say you have 100 jobs that you go and give a quote to. Say 50 of them say yes, let's do the jobs, and the other 50 say no. So your close ratio for that would be 50%. You won 50% of the jobs that you bid on. And my close ratio is sitting around 43% right now. So for every 100 estimates I do, I win 43 of them. I'm trying to get that up a little bit. I'm still learning. I'd like for that to be around 60%, but at the same time, I don't have too much margin to drop the prices. So I'm trying to come up with more creative ways to add value. That's where I'm at. But anyways, you take your close ratio. Say you win 50% of them, and let's say you drop $1,000 on marketing. Okay, so you drop $1,000 on marketing. You have a 50% close ratio. Let's just say at the end of the day you win 5 jobs out of 10, and you got 5 jobs for $1,000. That would be a $200 customer acquisition cost. That's pretty high, okay? For a new customer, I'm averaging about $103. That's my customer acquisition cost. But to figure out your customer acquisition cost, you pretty much just take however much you spend on marketing and divide that by total new customers, and that's your customer acquisition cost. So your customer acquisition cost will tell you, it tells me how much money I can throw at marketing and what I can expect to gain from it. So even with this example, we have a high customer acquisition cost of $200 for one new customer. Okay, if you're doing recurring maintenance work, say you charge $50 per service and you come there 38 times over the year, that's $1,900, and you take $200 right off the top because that's how much you paid for that customer. So now you're sitting at 17. Let's say you take away 80% of 1,700 to go to your overhead. You've got $340 of profit for year one of gaining this new customer. So you took $200 and it resulted you in $340. That's just 1 year. Now remember, 5 years in the stock market with $100, we got like 140, whatever I said earlier. But so average customer in lawn care, you're gonna have them for about 5 years. So multiply your profit of 340 times 5. That's $1,700, guys. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not good enough to throw $200 in the stock market and in 5 years turn around and watch it become $1,700. To me, I've tried to play in the stock market a little bit. It's much more difficult, and it's just not something that's really worth my time. When I know my numbers of business, and I could sit there and say, okay, it cost me $100 for a new customer. I'm going to get about $1,500 to $2,000 per year on this customer. I can take away the cost of the customer acquisition. I'm sitting at, this is my example, not the example I just made up. I'm sitting at $1,400 for the year, and I take away 80% from that. That's $280 of profit for me, and I can multiply that by 5. That's $1,400. So I threw $100 for every $100 of marketing. I get a new customer who in 5 years is going to give me a profit of $1,400. That is a 14x multiple, guys. You tell me, where can you go anywhere besides a small business and get a 14x multiple return on your investment? I think too many people look at small business as, I want to free up some time for myself. I want to set my own schedule. I want to work for myself, which if you're looking at that, I'll be honest with you, man, you're not going to free up any time at all. You're not going to work for yourself. You're not going to free up your schedule. You're not going to have a flexible schedule, because if you think you've got a business working for yourself, I'll just go ahead and tell you, you don't own a business. I don't think you own a job. And that's perfectly fine. That's where I was last year. I'm trying to figure out this year how to hire and fire people. That's a little difficult, trying to learn how to become a leader. But at the end of the day, working a job, owning a job is not what I want. I really do want to free up my time, and the way I see to do that, I do not have any profit this year. It's April 24th, and this is my second year in the lawn care business, and I'm not doing it because I love mowing grass, even though this video is amazing. It's awesome. It's very satisfying. But that's not why I'm doing it, because I just love mowing and weed eating and edging and blowing and smelling dog poop on my shoes all day and sweating in 110 degree heat with 95% humidity. I do not love that stuff, man. I love the business side of it. Used to, I used to love mowing. I'd much rather mow than grab a weed eater. But at the end of the day, I'd much rather sit here and crunch the numbers like this and say, okay, in 5 years, this is where I'm going to be, because numbers never lie. Numbers are predictable, and especially the lawn care industry. I see so many people, man. I was included last year in this. I tell you what, I took Mike Andy's landscape business course, and shout out to Mike, man. He's been such a huge help to me. I have not met Mike. I will be going to Mike's landscape summit in 2023 just because I want to invest in myself, man. I've never been on an airplane. I'm pretty scared to get on an airplane, but you know what? I'm gonna do it anyways, because I'm sure there's gonna be one thing I hear at Mike's landscape summit that I am gonna need to hear, and it just kind of comes down to having to smash my ego and take advice from others. I've got a friend in the industry where some people would call us competitors. I wouldn't call us competitors. We compete on maybe 2 or 3 square miles, but anyways, man, we're real good friends. We talk about business. We talk about numbers. He's helped me a lot as well, and man, it's so much more to it than just mowing. There's so much more to it than just mowing. This is an emergency. If you do not know your numbers, you really do need to know your numbers. I thought I was doing really good last year. I made $47,000 in total sales at the age of 22. And man, my head was about as big as a small galaxy, because that's a lot of money. But at the end of the day, there was no profit, and there was no money in the bank account, and that's fine, but I really didn't know why. I figured, if I make $47,000, I should take $37,000 home, and I didn't take anything home. I'll just be transparent. So it was really crucial. I was in the emergency room of business last year, and in November of 2022, I bought Mike's course and took this course and learned all my numbers, my customer acquisition costs, my close ratio, my profit margin, what else? Labor ratio. There's just so many of them, man. There's so many of them. If you want to learn your numbers, I would highly suggest you to take Mike Andy's landscape business course. You can find Mike on YouTube, or you can leave a comment and ask me anything, man. I would love to talk to you. 3 or 4 years ago, I was really passionate about equipment and trucks and mowers and trailers and everything like that, But it does not move the needle like black and white numbers. I figured, if I buy all this equipment, I will have a successful business. But I didn't have a successful business last year. I looked like I did, for sure, but I didn't. I got burnt out in June, man. In July, it got hot. I got burnt out. I slowed my roll around August, and after August, man, every day I woke up, I'm ready for the winter. I'm ready for the winter. Bro, I'm not ready for the winter now. It's April. I'm trying to hire and fire, get somebody to come onto the team to work with me this year. I've had somebody, and unfortunately he didn't work out. I tried, I was patient, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't a good fit. And after I had to let him go, I had to sit down for a minute and say, okay, what do I really want out of this business? Do I want to cash out, stop marketing, pull the lever of profitability, and take home $30,000 per year? No, that's not what I want. I want much more out of life than $30,000. Not to say I love money. I don't love money. But money is a tool. I look at money as a tool, and the thing I see, the more of it you have, the more free you really are. I look at entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, and he's the richest man in the world. But the bigger impact that he has on the world because of how much money he has, he can change the world. He is trying to change the world for the better, and that's where I want to be, man. I don't want a whole bunch of money just to be proud of it and to sit there and look at it in the bank account. That's not why I want a bunch of money. I want a bunch of money because I want to help people. I want a bunch of money because I want to free up my time. I want to take my family on a 2 week, 3 week, 4 week vacation, man. I want to give back to the people who have poured into me. It's just all about what you want. I don't think everybody has to grow a big business. You just have to look at what you want. But until you know what you want, why are you doing it? If you're doing it just for money, you're going to get really discouraged, because I'm in year 2. Like I say, I'm not making a profit right now. I'm burning money just as quick as it comes in, if not quicker. I'm floating 2 credit cards right now. I've got $50,000 worth of debt, and I'm all the way out there, man. It's wide open. It's a lot of risk for me, but I'm comfortable with it. It turns life into a game of strategy. To sit there and be complacent and just say, well, we'll gain a few customers and hope for the best. You don't have to do that, man. You don't have to sit there and hope for the best. You can know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, like I said a few minutes ago, this is an emergency. If you don't know your numbers, you're going to sink. You're going to sink. If I wouldn't have learned what I learned over winter, and if I was unwilling to learn even more right now, there would be no Greens Fine Lawn Care. I would have shut down, man. I would have shut down, and I would have been forced to go and get a job. I don't want to get a job, man. I do not want somebody else to tell me what to do and when to do it, how to do it. I do not want that, man. I don't want to retire in 50 or 60 years and have $2,000 or $3,000 per month to live on and survive. I don't want to survive. I want to live. I want to live. And if you don't want that, if you're complacent with $2,000 to $3,000 per month in 60 to 70 years, that's fine, man. Work by yourself and do it off of word of mouth, and hope that technology doesn't take over, even though it already pretty much has. I don't want to seem like I'm talking down to anybody, because I'm not, but I'm sure a lot of my customers are probably listening if they haven't tuned off by now. But there's just, at least for me, there's so much more that can be gained out of life, and I want to travel, man. Whoever I marry one day, and whichever woman has my kids, man, I want to take care of them. I want to provide. I want to be able to tell my wife, whoever that is, one day, you don't have to work. You can do what you want. You can live life. You don't have to work 40 hours per week. If you want to, that's fine. Go ahead. Do what you're called to do. What's your purpose? A 9 to 5, $40 work week is very invasive of my purpose. I feel like it beats you down. I remember when I worked for companies, it beat me down. I'm not saying everybody should go out and try to start a business and go get a whole bunch of debt and be unprofitable for 5 years. It's not for everybody. It's very uncomfortable. It's very lonely. It's very sometimes feels hopeless. Sometimes I'll lay in the bed and not be able to sleep because I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall. Sometimes I'll even cry. I'm not very emotional. I try to stay on an even keel because I don't want to. The same thing that I can get real happy and excited about, maybe tomorrow that'll be the same thing that gets me real low. So I try not to get too excited, and I try not to get too low, because the one constant in life and in business is change. And whatever was happening yesterday is probably going to be a little bit different today. It's going to be way different tomorrow. You've got to be able to adapt if you want to be an entrepreneur. If you feel like you are an entrepreneur, some of it can be coached, but the other maybe 60-70% of it, I feel like you've either got it or you don't. I could be wrong. If there's no other option for you but to figure it out, when you feel like you're not going to be able to pay the bills, there's no work on the schedule in the winter, but you won't go get a job because you know you can think of something, no matter how last minute it is, then you're probably an entrepreneur. And you need to start a business that grows. You don't need to own a job. Own a job for the first year. But if that's you, if that's you that I was just talking about, you need to grow. And I tell you, man, I'm only a year two, but it's already taken a lot of sacrifices for me. I'm not proud to say I still stay at my parents' house. Could I go rent something cheap, a trailer or an apartment? I could, man. It's not that I'm not too prideful to do that. There's nothing wrong with an apartment or a trailer. But the thing with me is, in 5 years, where do I want to be? And I look at it like that. Renting somewhere and adding that extra burden, maybe $1,000 a month. That's 10 new customers per month that I'd be sacrificing to do that. And I just want to grow as quick as possible. I want to slam money into this thing and watch it pay off 14-fold in 5 years. 14-fold in 5 years, man. Try to do that in the stock market. Try to do that with an NFT or whatever, crypto, Bitcoin, all the new things there are today. It's probably not going to happen unless you're just a mastermind, and even at that, you're going to have to sit there and day trade all day and stay up all night to research. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm not trying to crush on anybody or talk down on other ways of getting to where you want to be or other things that people want. I'm speaking to the entrepreneur. If you know you're a true entrepreneur, I'm talking to you. I'm weed eating this ditch. You see me? And that's not why that's not why I started this business, because I do not love doing what you see me doing right now. It is definitely one of the most, I hate using the word hated, but it is one of the most hated activities I have to do. And that alone, weed eating, can make the vision really blurry. For me, it really can, but I have to remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. Simon Sinek wrote a book called Start With Why. I read that over the winter, along with a few other books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a good one as well. The E-Myth is a really good book. It'll help you to implement systems to have a business that can run without you and it is not personality dependent. But Start With Why. That's actually the book I started with, and it was a spectacular book. If you don't know why you're doing whatever it is you're doing, you're a rebel without a cause, and you have no strategic aim. You have no goal or purpose. You're just doing it to be doing it, and I don't think that will turn out the best. I know this is probably hard to listen to for some people. I'm kind of maybe abrasive, and I don't mean to be. I'm just coming to you with I believe things are black and white. I don't think there's too much gray area in life. I don't think that there's relative truth. Maybe there is relative truth in whether or not you want to start a small business or whatever. Small business. Like I said, it's not for everybody. But if you've hung around this far, I know I'm kind of rough around the edges and a little bit abrasive, but I'm not doing it because I'm trying to preach or anything. I'm doing this because I wish somebody would have done it with me, as far as entrepreneurial or small business related. Because we could talk about equipment all day. We can talk about trucks. We can talk about trailers all day. We can talk about all the fluffy rainbows and unicorn stuff all day. But at the end of the day, the numbers, knowing your numbers, that's black and white. Numbers never lie. And man, I'm offering free help. I'm offering free help. I don't know too much. There's probably somebody out there even watching this that knows a lot more than me. If you do, if I'm wrong about any of this, feel free to comment. But if you need help, if you want to learn your numbers, leave a comment as well. Uh, Please like and subscribe if you like this type of content. Know it's a little bit new. I'm trying to do a blue ocean strategy on YouTube, man. I'm trying to implement the entertainment aspect of lawn care, and I'm also trying to implement the business side of it with the voiceover. But just give me some feedback. Let me get a mint. My mouth is getting kind of dry. If you've watched the video this long, thank you. The one piece of advice I would give to anybody who wants to start a small business: add up your monthly bills for your personal and figure out how much that is. Let's say you're living cheap. You get by on $1,000 per month. Incorporate that as your owner's pay into your business overhead. Now, if you're running a service business, this is gold right here, man. Listen closely. This is gold. I wish I wouldn't known this last year, but a lot of people, they don't know how to price things, and I was included last year. I did not know where I was coming up with these prices for yards and flower beds. I would just shoot from the hip, and oh, that looks like a $50 yard. That looks like a $300 flower bed. That looks like a $500 leaf cleanup. But I didn't know why I was saying that, and I feel like there's a whole lot of people like that. So this is gold. This is definitely gold. What I'm about to tell you. Um, to get your price. It's no secret the labor rate is an hourly rate. And let's say your business costs you $4,000 per month, okay, in overhead. You're going to incorporate your owner's salary of 1,000 into that, or whatever you want to pay yourself. You incorporate that into the business overhead. You don't want to take whatever's left of the profit, because the business needs a little profit as well to grow. So $4,000 per month is what your business expenses are. Say you want to work 50 hours per week. That's 200 hours per month. So you divide 4,000 in total business expenses per month by 200 total hours worked per month. The answer is 20. So it costs $20 per hour in your service business to break even. What's breaking even mean? It essentially means you're not losing money, but you're not making any profit either. The business is not making any profit. So how do we incorporate profit? If you want to grow, I want to grow. I only want 20% profit margin, which right now I'm pumping all of that profit back into the business. But it, the formula I'm about to tell you has allowed me to to pump money into the business, where last year I was not pumping money into anything. I was breaking even and sweating all day by myself. But you take your break even cost per hour, which is in this case is 20, and you multiply that by 1.2 for a 20% profit margin, which 20% profit margin basically means for every $100 the business brings in, $20 of that is profit, which that's fairly healthy. So 1.2 multiplied by 20 is 24. So you would have to charge $24 per hour for your service business to bring in a 20% profit margin. And then, I mean, if you don't want to grow, you could let the profit sit. Maybe you could raise that margin to 50%. To change the margin, you just do 1.5. That would be 50% margin, which that's pretty good if you not want to grow. But the higher your price, the lower your close ratio is going to be. So that's pretty much it, guys. Of course, that's just an example with round numbers. Mine's a little bit higher, fairly a lot higher actually, but that's how you come up with a price. So then when you're on the quote, instead of just shooting from the hip and saying, well, that looks like a $50 yard, instead of looking at it like that, you can look at the property and say, okay, how much time is this going to take one person? Okay, say it takes an hour and a half. That would be 1.5. You multiply that by your hourly rate, which is $24 per hour. It'd be $36 for an hour and a half property. You know exactly where you're at. And, man, that's gold to me. That is absolutely gold to me because I didn't know these things, man. I did not know these things. I'm still learning. There's a few numbers I want to pat down and learn about those. But actually, I've got a list. Let me read you the numbers I calculate every week. I calculate my break-even cost per hour every week. That allows me to have flexible pricing. I don't change the pricing week to week with established customers, but for new customers, I do change the pricing week to week. I know, okay, that I've got an hourly rate of this, and I calculate my customer acquisition cost, which that is total advertising spend divided by new customers. Say you drop $1,000 on advertising and you get 10 new customers. And guys, this is just me talking. I've muted this. I guess it is time for me to wrap this up. I do apologize. I guess I could sit on here all day, but man, drop a comment. Um, like and subscribe if you like this type of content. And man, thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, please reach out, man. I'm here to help absolutely anybody. Small business is my passion. It's what I love. Um, I am absolutely 110% here for you. Drop a comment. You can send me an email. The email address is Garrett, Garrett, Green 58 at gmail.com. And I hope you're enjoying watching me right now, even though you can't hear what I'm saying. After I recorded the video, I chose to go in a different direction with this voiceover. But, man, until next time, thank you for watching. I'll try to do one of these once a week, and I don't know what we're going to call it. It's pretty much just coming straight from the heart. But have a blessed day, man. Thank you.